You're watching WAFF 48 News at 6 on your side.
Tonight we are learning more and more about 3 Huntsville family members who were killed in a plane crash in Montana. Good evening, I'm Liz Hurley. Thank you for joining us on this 48 Fastcast. Mark Anderson and his 2 daughters, Ellie and Lainey, were on that plane that crashed in a remote area of Bob Marshall Wilderness in western Montana. And tonight we're hearing from one woman close to Lainey Anderson. WAFF 48's Callie Neese joins us now in studio. Callie, they are understandably heartbroken over this tragedy.
Liz, they are heartbroken and devastated, but they tell me Lainey was a sweet soul and this was simply tragic. These are photos of Lainey from high school sent to us by her former volleyball team. I spoke with Lainey's hairdresser, Heather Baker. She told me she was in a sorority at Auburn and that she was very close with her roommates and her group of friends. Baker told me Lainey was passionate about flying and that she was a certified flight instructor. She said that every time Lainey would book an appointment, they would have to book around her hectic flight schedule. Baker said she is completely devastated.
She was just a sweet soul, and she was super nice and friendly, and she was just super sweet. She was just one of those girls that instantly lit up the room, and she was just always super nice and positive, and she was just a sweet soul.
The whole community is really coming together for this family, Liz. You actually had the opportunity to speak with Huntsville Fire and Rescue about Lainey's father's involvement. What did he do there?
I really did. I got to talk to the Huntsville Fire Chief, Mac McFarland, District Chief Mark Jean, as well as other firefighters, especially with Malcolm Davis, who was actually working side by side with him on the engine as a driver. He spent 10 years there from 2001. Well, really started in 1991 all the way to 2001. And he went into Huntsville Fire and Rescue as a Green Beret. He was already with the Alabama National Guard, flew Hueys and Blackhawks, very accomplished and skilled pilot. He was also a paratrooper, Green Beret. And so they said he was so smart and so much a problem solver. Everybody at Huntsville Fire and Rescue wanted him on their team when there was an emergency.
And he flew helicopters, and there was one time that he called me and asked me if I could work over for him, and I did, and he parachuted to work at Station 6.
What?
Yes, he parachuted to work at Station 6.
Wait a minute. He jumped out of a helicopter to go to work?
Right. At Station 6.
Because?
He wanted to. That's how he was. He decided he wanted to parachute to work one day, and he made the arrangements and parachuted to work.
It's just so, wow. Who does that?
Mark. Mark does that.
Mark Anderson, well known in the Huntsville firefighting realm. They said that he was just an amazing human being, really a superhuman. They said he still holds the record for being the fastest recruit hired by Huntsville Fire and Rescue on the agility team. They said they had to be tested with a hose, and whoever would come out fastest with a hose, they were timed by the minute. But he was already running and had run with the hose already extended, and the clock was still ticking. So he was just a very beloved guy, and so many were watching the news over the weekend and said if anybody could get out of a horrible situation, it would be Mark, and they knew that it had to be so bad that he could not get out of that situation. Again, the community is at a loss about what to say and what to do, but so many are meeting tomorrow night to come together to remember this entire family, especially Misty, the wife, who is now left alone.
Yeah, I can't even imagine what it's like for her losing a daughter who is still in high school. Ellie, she's a senior at Huntsville High School, and they have canceled or postponed all homecoming events besides the football game.
And she's a majorette there.
Yes, she's on the dance team there and also is part of a local dance school, and her teammates are gathering tonight to watch Dancing with the Stars, not to practice, but just to be with each other, be able to mourn with each other and to spend time with each other.
She was also in a youth group?
Yes, she was in a youth group at First United Methodist, and Tomorrow night at the vigil, there's actually going to be a band from the Church of the Highlands that will perform. That vigil will be at Milton Frank Stadium tomorrow night at 6:30, and the gates will open at 5:30.
And Lainey, a beloved flight instructor, certified flight instructor at Sanders Aviation, a renowned training school for would-be commercial airline pilots. She is there, beloved, an aviation graduate, also formerly on the Huntsville High volleyball team. You talked to the volleyball team yesterday.
Yes, and they just echoed the same things I'm hearing from everyone, that she was a great person. The whole family was a great team. She also went to Auburn and went into her flight school, and her hairdresser was telling me that she just wanted to be a pilot like her dad, and she was truly passionate about that.
Well, the community will certainly miss them, and they will come together tomorrow night at Milton Frank Stadium beginning at 6:30.
Yes, and the gates open at 5:30.
They're hoping to fill that stadium through and through. Callie, thank you.
Thank you.
We appreciate it. A murder trial underway in Colbert County. William Moore accused of shooting and killing motel owner Pravin Patel at the business in February of 2024. WAFF 48's Aria Pons live now from the Colbert County Courthouse. Aria, the prosecution says there is an eyewitness to the shooting and video too.
Yes, Liz, and that eyewitness lives directly behind the Hillcrest Motel. He says he was actually walking by the motel when he heard the gunshots. At first, he says he was just absolutely dumbstruck before he jumped into action, racing by Moore on the way out and asking him if he also heard the gunshots. He detailed how Moore said no with absolutely no emotion on his face before continuing to walk on past that neighbor. Now, the investigator that took the stand, he detailed the video surveillance that you talked a little bit about that shows the interaction between Moore and Patel leading up to the shooting. Moore was setting his things down before going to ask for a room. He was homeless at the time, I'm told. The video shows Patel walking up and telling Moore to leave the private property and that he wasn't going to get a room. Moore eventually picked up his belongings to go. Here's where the investigator says there were signs of what Moore could do, stating that Moore picked up all his belongings up with his left hand, leaving his right hand free, and then sticking it in his waistband. Then Moore turned to leave before looking back and shooting Patel 3 times in the face and chest point blank. All of it caught on video by the motel. Now, the prosecution says they have a few more witnesses to call before handing the floor over to Moore's defense attorney. The judge over the case, though, already told the courtroom that he really doesn't believe this case will go past tomorrow. Reporting live in Colbert County, Aria Pons, 48 on your side.
Thank you, Aria. Prosecutors used a Decatur man's own words against him in his murder trial today. Spencer Harwell on trial for shooting and killing Frankie Smith in broad daylight in June of 2021. Today, body camera footage showed Harwell replying to an officer, quote, "I'm good, other than I just killed my best friend." Inside that building, Smith there was in a workshop area along with 2 bedrooms nearby. One was Smith's, one was Harwell's. There were many guns, a bag of drugs and broken glass found in Harwell's room, and one shell casing also found outside his bedroom door. On his door read the words "active shooter." Evidence showed a wooden board covered in blood near Harwell's door and blood spattered all around. Testimony in his trial continues tomorrow. An Albertville man now facing charges tonight after several illegal gambling machines were found at a Fort Payne business. Fort Payne police say these are just a few of the 38 machines they found at 2 businesses on Galt Avenue. Police say these machines could make cash payouts to players. 20-year-old Gael Garcia was arrested in connection to this investigation. He's charged with possession of gambling devices, promoting gambling, and possession of gambling records. Be sure to stick around after the short break for your 10-day forecast with 48 Chief Meteorologist Brad Travis. We'll be right back.
now, your first alert weather with Chief Meteorologist Brad Travis.
Well, good evening. The sun has set. Here's your 10-day forecast. We've got a chilly night ahead tonight, tomorrow night, and even Friday night. The evening will be on the cool side. You'll need a jacket in the morning and in the evening hours. 69 degrees tomorrow for the high after a morning low around 39 to 42. 41 for Thursday morning, 42 Friday morning. Huntsville Havoc, first game, first home stand coming up here Friday, at least first home game. It's not really a stand because it's a one night only thing. Here's your Saturday, Sunday time frame. If anything, the chance of rain is going to go up Sunday and probably going to drop it for Saturday. And I'll go hour by hour through that here in a second and show you my reasoning for that. Overnight lows get back in the 50s with the clouds and eventually the rain Sunday and a bit of a south wind. But look, the high is only in the 60s Sunday. Monday, 65, 67 Tuesday. Tuesday night into Wednesday, we're watching this storm system. This is going to bring in some of the coldest air of the season behind it. Right now, it doesn't have a setup for severe weather, but maybe some widespread rain. And then for Halloween Friday, a high of 57. Chilly conditions expected for Halloween evening. At least that's the way it looks now. Things change quickly this time of year, so keep checking back for updates. Speaking of changing quickly, here's that line of showers and thunderstorms that moved through here during the late morning hours. Finally got out of here around 1 o'clock. Tonight, 41, chilly, a clear sky, meteor shower, peaks tonight. I didn't see any meteors last night. Maybe you'll have better luck than I did tonight. 69 degrees with low humidity, sunny and dry, sunset at 6:05 tomorrow. And here are those rain chances. Rain on the roof. Once again, we're probably going to be dropping this Saturday time for rain, but it's Sunday looking more and more likely. And right now it looks like it's going to be light rain. So here's your weekend. Saturday, 3 o'clock, Fayetteville, Arkansas. Game begins there, 11:45 kickoff. Auburn and Arkansas. Could be wet throughout the game, so take your rain gear. Could have an impact on the game too if it picks up a little bit. By the 9:30 hour, notice there's no rain around here. All the rain's still west. This is a very slow moving storm system, but if it picks up any speed at all, of course, it would impact earlier in the day Sunday. But right now, most of the rain in Mississippi Sunday morning. You see what I mean by just light rain showers here on the northern edge of this. This will be 3 o'clock Sunday afternoon. The heavier rain south of Memphis, down towards Tuscaloosa, all the way down to the Gulf Coast. So not very good weather down on the Gulf Coast. But the rain slowly and surely moves north as we go later into the evening hours. So again, I do think we'll see at least some light rain move in late in the afternoon Sunday and continue perhaps into Monday. I'll have another look at this forecast on our next Fastcast tonight at 10.